I was good, y'all. So today I had a day off and I was kind of going through what I needed for the turbo kit. I often do this where I kind of think and like touch parts and basically look and see where things are gonna go, look at videos, do diagrams and stuff like that. Try to understand how the car's gonna get put together before I actually dive into it, right? Because I'm very limited on time and space now, to where I can't take it apart and figure it out as I go. Where I kind of want to have a game plan. It just seems like the better thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So I try to knock out things beforehand. And like, I've been thinking about this turbo thing ever since like a year since before I posted that video. So it's been like, it's been a while since like I've been thinking about this and stuff. So kind of today I kind of want to start it off and just do the gauges and stuff. The turbo video is always going to be in stages. You know, I'm not going to do the whole thing in a shebang. You know, so we're going to do it slightly. And today I kind of wanted to work on the gauges. Obviously I do plan to have gauges. I just wasn't sure where they were going to get mounted to. You get what I'm saying? And let me explain what I mean. So in La Zeta, I don't have like this collar pillar thing, so I can't really put gauges right here when they look cool. It's a sacrifice I made, I know, whatever. But I do have other ideas that I wanted to try out. So obviously people remove these, but I kind of like these because it just goes so well and it looks so nice and it looks so factory. And I love having my speedometer there, and I love having my volts, and I love having my oil pressure, even though it doesn't work, but I will figure that out sooner or later. Maybe you guys can actually help me out with that problem that I've been having. So this sensor, I already replaced it twice. The oil pressure sensor, I replaced it twice. And I know it's broken because when I turn it on, it goes straight to 120. And a lot of people have been commenting that my oil pressure is way too high. A lot of people have been commenting that my oil pressure is way too high. But when the ignition is on and it goes straight to 120, then there's something wrong. So the only idea I have is that it could be a wiring issue. But if you guys have any idea, let me know. I would much rather run this gauge, if you know what I mean. Other than that, I was gonna run them here, but I have a spare one from my automatic that I was gonna swap and pretty much just figure out how I was gonna cut them out and all that good stuff, because I don't have any, there's nothing behind this, so I don't have like the heater core or like AC or anything like that, so these are pretty much useless. They're just here for looks. And I would much rather have functioning gauges, you know, if I could just have them right there chilling. So we'll probably do that later. But I did have two gauges that came with my kit. One was oil pressure, and then the other one, I believe, was boost gauge. Those are glow shift gauges that I wanted to show you guys, but I didn't exactly plan to like have this like work, but it came out pretty decent, man. And this is like my vent, and I really wish I could have explained to you, but I love this vent because it's so modular. You could take off this front cover, and then like all the like flaps and stuff come off. The only reason I had to cut it was because there was like a plate back here on the inside that I cut with a hot knife that pretty much like couldn't allow me to like make them all the way in like that, like how they are. This is pretty deep in there, and I had to trim this top piece and whatnot. It was a lot of trimming down here, no big deal, but I think it really did work out for the best. And right now I'm just gonna install it. I didn't plan it. I honestly, I was just messing around in the morning, and then I really liked the way it looked, and I obviously didn't record because I didn't plan on doing this. But it looks pretty good, and I got my wire loomed up all nice and pretty, and I got some parts ordered for that, but I'm doing this right now. I just want to install it, see what it looks like. Yeah, man. The glow shift, a boost gauge, and an oil pressure gauge. My bad. Oil pressure gauge and my boost gauge. I'm gonna run this oil pressure gauge in case I can't make that one work. But if I can't make that one work, then I might as well replace those gauges, because it makes no sense to run two oil pressure gauges. But if I can get that one to work, I would much rather have that one work, to be honest. Because this one only goes to 100, that one goes to 120. And the system in this car is supposed to go to 120, even though I know it won't once we add all the oil lights, scavenge pump, and the oil cooler. But we'll see. We'll you know, if I can get that to work, we'll get that to work. And then we'll get another gauge for this one, or we'll see what we do, you know? You guys have no idea how much work it takes to get this thing in there, because it's a vent. It mounts to the backside of this panel. But don't think we could just pop it off. No, we have to take off this kick plate right here that cover the fuses to get to the bolts that expose this bottom cover where like your gas cap goes and all that right there. We had to take that off. Then we have to get to this under plastic right here with 4 screws that cover up basically all the electronics for the ignition. And then we have to unscrew 4 bolts for the speedometer, which we then take off after you disconnect it. I already disconnected it. Not only then, but you have to then take off your shift boot, get to these 2 bolts right here for this front cover that you have to lift up. Then, and only then, will you be able to take this panel off, flip it over, and install your vent with 3 screws, and then do the whole mess all over again to put it back. All right, guys, I put everything back together, and then this is how it looks like. It looks very, very good. This is my driving position right here. Very good angle that we can see. It interrupts, you know, nothing, and it goes very well there. I really love it. The ideal ones that I would love to have is a carbon pod right here that goes up top right here. Or they make like another one that replaces this bottom panel that has two straight up right here. I would love those. I would love those so much, but if I can't get them, I can't get them, you know? So this will have to do for now. I think it looks great. This is like my favorite part. I want you guys to see it. Ooh. There we go. Now, these are not gonna work with the ignition. They're not even connected to anything. You can see the wires right here. Come on now. I did order some parts, but that will be in a few seconds for you guys, but in a few weeks for me, so I'll see you guys then. It feels good to be back spreading the positive vibes with y'all. I haven't really done a video in a while, so this is gonna be a good one, and I'm excited for today's topic, which is gonna be gauges. Now, this is something in the works because I do plan to change up the setup on my gauges because I want it to be like matching with the rest of my interior lights, but let me show you what I mean by that. All right, so basically, when I put in my key, you know the gauges, y'all know the gauges, how they light up orange. That's basically what I want, is essentially what I want in gauges. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense to have the gauges not match, you know what I'm saying? These are my glow shift ones. And let me show you guys what I have actually, how I did all the wiring, because I kind of have it all spread out so I can show you guys and so you guys can see it, you know? How I ran it, and I'm gonna clean it up later. I just wanted to make sure it all worked and how it looked so I could start ordering my other gauges because these are not it. Alright, so this is the back, basically the harness is the back of the gauge. It's like everything else, always on. Power, a ground, a switched power. This is to like attach them so that your lights can dim when you have your headlights on and stuff at night so you can see better. All right, so basically Mad Scientist recommended me to get a power distributor block because basically I do plan to add more fuses, but I didn't want to just keep pulling them out of the same fuse box, which is over by the speaker. I do plan to add more gauges right here because I don't have any heater core, as you guys can tell. So all these are pretty much useless, but you need to have this to be able to tune. Anyways, I'm gonna take these out and drill them and then just tuck these up somewhere else. But now that's why I have this power distributor block, because I could always add more. It's got 6 inputs, so I got pretty much my always on to right there, and then those are the grounds for them. Might as well just have them all hooked up to the same place. These have to always be on so your gauges can remember what color you want it, because these are like color gauges and whatnot. But let me show you where the actual power comes through from this. This just goes straight to the battery, to the firewall. Got my boy over here. Straight to the battery. You know what I'm saying? So this is always on, so this is always gonna get power. But that one is for the gauges to remember, so the gauges are not always on, you know? Get what I'm saying? You feel me? So there's that. These dimmers, I'm not gonna wire them right now because I don't want to cut my harness, so we'll have to figure that out later, maybe with something else. Or maybe they won't bother me, you know, who knows. Anyways, the red one is the switched. So I have this white cable coming from the other fuse box, the stock fuse box, and I'll explain that later. These don't need that much power. It's basically just a switch so it could just turn on whenever you want it to turn on. So I have both of those connected right there. This is gonna look better. I have a whole lot of white cable, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna run this later. I just wanted to make sure it's all working properly and connected to the right places. So we're gonna hop on to this side and I'm gonna explain that a little bit more too. Now when we come over here, these need a switch to turn on, and you obviously want them to turn on with your gauges. You don't want them to turn on when you, I don't know, like when the radio's on or whatever, because then they would always be on when the keys to the first click. I don't know, but I'm kind of picky about that, so that's why I wanted to turn on with the gauges. So the fuse that we actually tapped into is this last one on the bottom left hand corner. It's the electrical parts fuse. It's literally the last one right here. This is basically, it's called an added circuit, and it's basically like this little let me just take it out so you guys can see it. But you guys saw how I go in on the last fuse right there. So this is basically an added circuit, and what it basically is like a piggyback off the stock fuses so that you could run another cable. And this is basically to my, like I said, my electronic parts, that last fuse right there, that 10A. And this is basically the switch that tells it to turn on, you know what I'm saying? So this goes into the last one right there. Let's see if I can do it on cam. Goes into that last one right there, and I have it run across and all that, and I'm gonna show you guys what the gauges look like now that all that's wired. Anyways, let me hop in here, guys. I'm gonna show you guys. You know, you guys want to be cool, hop in your little Zeta, you know what I'm saying, at the local car meet. Close the window so I won't do the thing, Ivan, and then I'll just lower the window. Close the door so actually it's not making a noise. Anyways, let me show you guys. So you know, you're in here, you're about to do some runs and whatnot, and then you know, you go up, put in your key, and then you turn it to the ignition, and that's when they all turn on. Sheesh. They have blue, green, red, light blue, I guess. I don't. That's like turquoise. I don't know. That's not turquoise. That's like lime green, I guess. Purple, and then even a lighter blue, I guess. And then it has like these like switches. Yeah, these switchback features. This one's a lot more like snappy. This one's a lot more like flowy. I hope that makes sense. But none of them match my gauge color, you know. So like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to get the other ones now. Oh, on camera they like flicker. That's interesting. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? So I can't be rocking these because they don't match the whip. You feel me? So I have to get the ones that are, these are the 7 series color for glow shifts, and then I have to get the 10 series color which has orange, and hopefully it's the same freaking orange as this, you know. But you know what I'm saying? Because it would be the same. It'd be the orange numbers with the red. You feel me? Like it's so close, but yeah, so far. And that power block distributor is gonna get mounted on the transtone right behind these. So it's gonna be tucked away in there, and I'm gonna have easy access to it whenever I want to add more gauges. And this wire is gonna get cleaned up above the dash, and you know, it's gonna get all cleaned up, and I'm gonna have the tray over there, and that's all gonna be protected and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically all you needed. The thing that I did to run this wiring was some wire that I had laying around. That power distributor block was like actually it was like $12 shipped to my door, and it came with this little cool little cover that I'm gonna put once I'm done and I mount it, you know. And then this was like $3, like for like 4 of them shipped to my house to add a circuit. So it's pretty cheap to add to your fuses. Alright, y'all, so I know this video is old, man. I know it's coming out to you guys maybe 2 months old, man, which is unacceptable, guys. I know I've really been liking, man. So I'm really starting to start off this week strong by giving you guys a video out on Monday. There's going to be a video Wednesday. There's going to be a video on the weekend as well, either Saturday or Sunday. You know, you guys are gonna have to hit that subscribe button and that bell as well right next to it, so you guys get notified on those next 2 videos that are gonna come out this week as well, man. I'm super hyped to be back on the vlog and stuff, man. I know I'm busting out a bunch of content that's still old, but I'm still excited for you guys, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the content on the Black Z, man. I got a ton more content on the Beetle. I got a ton more content on the brand new car we got, man. Hyro got a new car, man. Ton of stuff happening behind the scenes, man. I hope you guys are excited like we are, man. Tons more to come, man. We're only getting started. I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed day, and I catch you on the next video.